Chapter 16. Do not accept anything of the here below. Be vigilant, dear disciple, to always forbid yourself from accepting things from this worldly life, no matter how small, even if the Shaykh insists, unless you are in extreme poverty and your visit to the Shaykh is for Allah alone. Know that it would be far more beneficial for you to completely surrender to Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, and place your trust in Him by abandoning everything as if you are going on a pilgrimage, siyaha. If the Shaykh insists on offering you something, it can represent a good for you or a cause of spiritual sufficiency and wealth. But if you are provided for and can meet your needs, then try to make an excuse to the Shaykh to refuse his present. Know, may Allah purify you, that this is one of the ways by which the Shaykh will examine if there is any attachment or desire in your heart for the item in question. Therefore, be sure to accept nothing, no matter how insignificant the item may be. Likewise, everything in the Zawiyah should be magnified. If you take something from it, it will follow you all your life, and it will be an indication for us that you are still directing your strength and will towards creation, and that your attention is not fully turned towards Allah. Therefore, strive to extinguish and annihilate your desire in asceticism and scruple until you know the one who feeds you, and direct all your being and energy towards Him. Not accepting anything from the Shaykh also implies not asking him for anything. However, if you end up accepting the Shaykh's gift, make sure to give it the greatest care and be careful not to belittle it, even if it is a worthless item. Indeed, this could bring you success and the blooming of your heart by the grace, the barakah of the Shaykh, even if, we repeat, the gift seems trivial. Just like the Kaaba, everything in the Zawiyah is sacred. Therefore, some people do not hesitate to ask for the Shaykh's patched cloak, his muraqqa, imagining that they will derive great blessings from it, but they are completely mistaken. Through their behavior, and without even realizing it, they only move away from the divine presence. The disciple should never put himself in a position where he can claim something. For example, it is a tradition in our path that when the disciples return from the spiritual wandering, the siyaha, the Shaykh takes one of his clothes, cuts it into pieces, and gives a piece to each disciple. These pieces should be sewn onto their respective patched cloaks. In this instance, it is a great good for them, a great good for their hearts, and a great blessing for them. Beware, dear disciple. If you remain attached to the goods of this world, you will not draw even a drop from the ocean that is the Shaykh's knowledge, even if you were to stay 1,000 years in his companionship in the path to Allah. Instead, abandon this lower world so that your spiritual aspiration, your himmah, can increase and elevate you in the divine presence. And then you will see the worldly life following you, begging you to take it back. That's why we often say the worldly life is like a shadow. If one takes it as their qibla, it will be in front of them and they will never be able to catch it. But for those who abandon it, it will follow them like a shadow, like an obedient dog. Direct your himmah only towards Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, and be content with little, and you will find yourself always thankful. Be in a state where whatever you do, your intention is always for Allah, for in this way you will be in constant dhikr, in constant remembrance. Whoever has thanked Allah Jalla Jalaluhu for little has been rewarded with a great blessing in his heart, and the worldly life will have no effect on him. His house could be destroyed, his goods lost, and it would not change his inner state, unlike the people of the here below who fall ill over a lost dirham. Dear disciple, if you manage to rid yourself of this burden, you will then find yourself clothed in the robe of tranquility, and this is the secret of abandoning the here below.